Hello there everyone, my name is Nathan Birch. In this video we're going to pick up where we left off with our lesson 4 assignment, and we're going to go ahead and do our best to do these stretch challenges. So first one, make the application look nice. I went ahead and took the liberty of changing two classes in here. I took out the item image one here and I just put this instead. And that just helps our carousel to not look super stretched. It still doesn't look nice. If I was actually going to make this application, I would store the images locally and change their image size to exactly what I wanted it to be and where I wanted it to be. But with dealing with the web's images, that'll work okay for us. And then this one right here, I added this, and this one we'll just use instead of container everywhere where I put a container. So right here in the about, before the accordion, I put my container. In account, I put my container. In index.html, I put, oh, it's just in the carousel. I didn't do it on there. And then contact, I did my container. So look what happens when we do this. So my container has a background of white, a z index, which is higher than the z index of the particle background. Okay, I probably could have just done 1. I just did 50. I don't know. Then I added some margin on top and a few other things here. And so here's what it looks like. Come over here. Here's our carousel. You can see the images don't look very nice, and it's because I have it set, the carousel set to 100% width and not very tall, right? So we can't see very much of our images here, but at least they're not stretched, okay? Our about page looks like this, okay? This white background here is from that CSS class, the my container that I made, and that's working really well. It looks awesome. The account page, I just use that exact same class, and then here's the contact page. Okay, so looks decent. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make it so the nav bar shows the active link depending on which page you're on. So this is really important, right? Because no one's going to expect to be using this and have home show as active the entire time, and not the other ones. So let's go ahead and fix that, okay? So I'm actually going to do this in the particle, or sorry, in the partial nav. Up here, I'm just going to add a script tag for us to use anytime this partial nav is being used. I'm going to say let URL equals, and I'm going to find the URL of our page. So I want to retrieve this, about.html or account.html or index.html. That's what I want to get. And so I can do that by saying window.location.href. Okay, now that will give me the entire thing. So the HTTPS, www, or localhost, whatever it is. And so what I want to do, I just want to get everything after the last slash. And so I'll say .split, and I'll split it by the last /. Oh, whoops. Oh, man. Hang on. Split by the last slash, and then pop will give me everything after the last slash. Okay, so I have the URL, which will just be the file name, and then I'll say let ELS, and for this we basically want to say we basically want to define, you know, what links these are. Okay, and so we're going to just find those links. We'll say document dot query selector all, and then what we want to find here is an A tag with an href of, let's see here, there we go, our URL, which will just be that file. Because right here I have index.html, about.html, and so this should give us that. We just need to make sure to close that string. Okay, and then now that we found that, so we found the URL of the page, we found the link that we want to change, now we just want to add this class into there. So I'm going to take that out of there, and we'll just say, there's our element, and we'll say element at index of 0, so that'll be the first time it found this link in the page. .class list.add active. Okay. So now if we save that, I did modify the JavaScript, and since we're using Browserify here, I'm just going to reload that. And let's see if this works. there we go. About has the active class, account has the active class, contact has the active class. So that's looking awesome. Okay, let's go to our next one. Make it so that each page has a unique particle background. So we're going to use some pretty similar logic to what we did with our URL, right? And being able to change that nav. So let's go ahead and look at script. So right here, I had already made an object called particle home. We'll go ahead and make a different object for each one of our pages. And I actually have those made already, so I'm just going to paste them in here. And then we'll just go through the logic of basically using a different one. So I made a particle about, particle contact, and all these come straight from the documentation, right? So if we come back over here and we go back to particles.js, we look here, it goes through all these different options that you can have, okay? It even goes through the responsive one. I'm not really gonna worry about that right now. But anyways, that's where all this is coming from, and I just kind of just threw in a couple of things here. A couple of different colors, you know, speed, max number of particles, size variations, are they connected, all of that stuff, okay? So now right in here, we just need to change the logic to say, hey, are we gonna load up particle home or particle account, and so forth. And so we'll use that same logic that we had before with the url.pop, that whole thing. That'll get us the name of the file. And then in here, let's just go ahead and say if URL is equal to index.html. Okay. Oops, I forgot to put set time on top here. So if that is true, then we'll go ahead and load up particle home. Okay. Then we're going to add an else if URL is equal to, and our next one was about.html. Then I'm just going to copy this line of code and paste it in here. And we'll go ahead and load up particle about. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to copy this whole thing. Oh, whoops. All right. Else if URL is contact, then we'll say particle contact. There, that should work better. And paste that again. Else if URL is equal to account, then we'll say particle account. Okay, so let's see if this works. So, oh, we changed our JavaScript. Let me go ahead and reload that. We'll come over here into our project. Okay, so that's definitely different, right? And that's on the contact page. Let's look at the account page. So the about worked. Account didn't work. I wonder if I have a typo or something in there. Let's look at our tools. Nothing showing up in the console. Interesting. Okay, well, let's close that. Let's see what home looks like. That looks good. About looks good. Account, nothing, and contact worked as well. So account, there's probably just a typo here. Yep, right there. Missed the end. Okay, we'll save that. And let's click on account. Oh, we changed our JavaScript. Let's go ahead and update that. I'll come back over here. And there's account. Sweet. So we have all those working. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's look at our next one. Incorporate the email.js com package so that someone can actually reach you via email with the form on the contact page. So let's click on this link. Oh, that's not helpful. Let's see. I have it pulled up. I'll put it right there. All right, and let's go ahead and look at how this works. Help sending emails using client-side technologies only. No server required. That's good. We don't have a server. So let's go ahead and run our npm install. So I'm just going to copy that. Come in here, and I'll paste it. Okay, and that should modify our package JSON. Okay, now it's showing up right there. Good. Next up, examples. Okay, so we do have to use a little bit of JavaScript here, but let's see what we have. Email.js, send your service ID, your template ID, and template params. Send form. We're not using Angular or Vue or React. Okay, well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and make a new function. I'll go ahead and copy all this for now. And we'll just go to our script.js file, and we'll make a function here called send email. Function send email. Okay, and then in here we need to get input from user, and then we'll send our email. So for the input from the user, let's go to contact. Let's go ahead and call a function here. I'm going to get this send email function. And I'm actually not sure if this will work from here. We might have to put it somewhere else, but we'll try it. We'll say onClick equals, and we'll put that function. Okay. We'll save this as well, and we'll reload our browserify scripts to update our JavaScript. And then let's come over here to contact, and I'm going to open up our developer tools. Click on sources, and we're just going to put a breakpoint in there. Now with the browserify, it's a little bit tricky to do the breakpoint stuff, so I'm just going to search for something in here. I'm going to search for this function. Okay, so I'm just going to hit Control F, search, and I'll put it right there. Oh, come on. Wow, it's not going to let me do it. All right, well, there's another way we can do this. I'm just going to say console.log, function was called, save it, and oh, now it's showing up. Weird. Oh well, we'll take that off. We don't need that anymore. Let me go ahead and make sure that we've updated our JavaScript. Okay, so that should be good. We'll refresh it, and I'm just going to watch the console here. We'll hit submit. And I didn't see anything. It reloaded the page, it looks like. So let's go ahead and fix that. So type submit, we don't need that there. Oh, it's already in a form. So right here, let's just add an on submit. And then when it's submitted, we'll go ahead and call send email, and return false will prevent that form from actually being submitted. Let's see, we want a name for the inputs here, so I'll say name equals email address, and then we'll put a name on this text area. His name equals email body. Okay, and then we don't need an on submit there. Oh, we're missing a semicolon. That would give us a nice error. Okay, let's upload or re-upload our JavaScript. Let's come back over here and let's run this. So I'm going to hit refresh. Class list of undefined. Interesting. It's still reloading our page. Okay. Well, let's see here. So instead, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the script tag in here, because I think that that's what's given us issues with the browserify. And we're going to take this send email function, and we're going to put it in there. So we'll save that. And now, well, let's come back over here. Let's reload that. And let's look at our tools here. Still all showing up in bundle. Send email. And it's not letting us put a breakpoint in there. Huh. Well, let's go to console. And that's not helpful. So something showed up to the console there. All right, let's see where this error is coming from. Cannot read property class list of undefined. Untitled script. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go back. Let's worry about our emailing thing. So let's go to the documentation. All right. So let's say sign up for free. And I'll go ahead and give it an email address. I am not a robot. And we'll say sign up. And sign in. Okay, let's add a new service. Oh dear. Okay, well, let's see if this works. Invalid login. So I think this isn't wanting this because it's actually like a work email. Let's see here. Let's try adding it over here. We'll say connect account. Allow. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so that was easier. Let's see if it worked. Okay, so I just pulled up my email, and it looks like there is this test email there. So that looks like that worked. So let's go into this a little bit more. Let's see here. So email template. We'll create a template. New message. We'll just leave all of this exactly the way it is. Except we want it to just match our form. So we're gonna say we're gonna send this to my other email. Reply to. So we'll say new message from email, and then we'll say hello. We're gonna just take some stuff out of here. And then we'll say message body. Okay, so I'm just gonna save that. And let's look back at their documentation. Okay, so we did that. So we need the user ID, so we'll have to do that. So let me copy that and we'll put it into, let's put it in our contact, just with our other. And then our user ID, where's that? Service ID, that's probably it. We'll copy that, go back over here, and we'll paste it there. Okay, let's see what else we have to do. Okay, you can obtain it from there. Email.js.send. Okay, so we need. Okay, good. There's a good code example. That's the exact same one we have. So your service ID, your template ID, and then the template params, which will have the stuff that we need for the email. Okay, so we said we're going to have, let's look at our email templates. I'm going to copy that. Oh, okay. Where'd that go? I'm going to copy that. We're going to need it. All right, so let's come back over here. Template ID is going to be that one. Service ID is going to be that one. And then template params. That's what we want to get from the user. And we made a form down here. So we should just be able to say, let's give this form a name. We'll say name email form. So we'll say the name is email form dot, we don't have a name, so we'll just say email address, okay, which is right here. And then the notes will be, email form dot email body. And then I want to name these the exact same thing as my template email here. So we have our from email, which we'll put right there. And then we'll have our message body, which we'll put right there. Okay. So I think that might actually be good. Let's try it. So I'm going to update that. Come back over into here. Let's save this just in case it wasn't already saved. Okay, good. It was already saved. All right, let's come over here. And we'll hit refresh. Email.js is not defined. Okay. Well, then let's get it defined. So right here, let's look at how we're using this here. This could give us an issue. So we'll say let, paste that, equals require, and then the package that we installed. So it was, where did that come from? Email.js-com. Okay. It's not being used here. Okay, so inside of contact, let's go ahead and try to make a direct link to our script. So we'll say source equals script.js. Okay, and now we'll see if this email.js is defined. Oh, gotta update this. Import and export may only appear with source type module. All right, so I just made a couple of changes. The node package actually wasn't working out very well, so I just threw this in here instead to use that. And then I put all of my code in here, okay? And so this is just the CDN. This is also on, it's right here, if we're gonna use it manually instead of using this. And so I went ahead and did that. And then I ran this function, giving it a shot. And it said it failed to send, but the function was called, so that's progress. And then it says status 400, the user ID is required. To find this ID, visit this dashboard. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to grab this user ID. And let's see. Looks like we have to do init right there as well. So oops. Maybe it's not the service that it needs right there. Let's give that a shot. Okay. So I'm going to rebuild all this stuff and then come back over into our web page. Hit refresh. And it's not defined. Oops, I've got to take that out. That's a bummer. Run that again. Come over here. Okay, and let's put something in there. Header. Hit submit. Yes. Okay, so that looks good. Let's head over to my email. Oh, that sounded good. Where's my email? Refresh. Boom. Okay, hello, object to Nathan Birch. Interesting. So we have a couple of issues that we want to work out, but the fact that I just sent an email is pretty awesome. Okay, but we'd want to fix up this a little bit. Like the reason why that's not showing up is because it was just the different name of a field, even though I changed the title here. But anyways, it totally worked. Okay, so that's awesome. I'm trying to think here. Right now, I'm not really going to worry about that error either, just for the sake of time. We'll go ahead and just leave the rest of this as it is. So, but anyways, I hope that this video was helpful. Sorry that it was kind of long. Most of it was the send email JS stuff. But anyways, hopefully this helps you guys.